was always a favourite of mine. When I was at school, if you won a prize, they were all books. You were allowed to choose your own book, within reason, obviously. I chose, for 2 of my prizes, the complete long stories of Sherlock Holmes and the complete short stories of Sherlock Holmes, which I still have at home with the little, upper 4th handwriting prize, because I enjoyed reading them. And I read them avidly. The English language means a lot to me, and I love the writings of people like Conan Doyle and H.G. Wells and all those people. So the idea of bringing him to life is something I never anticipated. But having been brought up watching all those wonderful Basil Rathbone movies, and I adored him, I thought he was wonderful. They're such cracking good stories. They stand the test of time. And I'm going to, vocally at least, impersonate him now. It's rather exciting. I've been so lucky. I've had lots of really good touring productions I've been in. I played Inspector Morse. The last tour I did, which was about 6 years ago, I played Inspector Morse on stage. And that's a role I never thought I'd be asked to play. And I loved doing it. I was very lucky as a young actor. I started professionally acting in 1969, and I was on telly a year later. And then along came, of course, The Brothers in the 70s. And I was drafted in to play a couple of episodes because I knew the producer, and he'd remembered that I'd studied law, and it was to play the part of a merchant banker who had a lot of that kind of language. And he asked me as a favour to come in and do it. And they liked what I did, and they wrote the part up, and I was there for 3 series, which was wonderful. I was voted the most hated man in Britain. And then, of course, after that was Doctor Who. So I went from arguably the most hated to being perhaps the most loved character on British television. The best thing is about the Doctor is that he is that masked stranger who rides into town and puts everything right and then leaves again, who was that masked man, It's in that tradition. And to play that part, having seen the very first episode, and if you told me then that a few decades later I would be that person, when at that point being an actor was what I did in my spare time as an amateur actor, which I think is a very good lesson for anybody who listens to this. You never know what you can do. You just never know. There have been things that I've thought I might get and didn't, but there are things I thought I'd never get and did. So go for your dream. I think people should come and see The Hound of the Baskervilles because I'm in it. Also because, seriously, it's such a good story. It's a story we all think we know. Some people might know it quite well, but we don't really know it. And the joy of this production is that no one is trying to create the Moors on a stage. What we're doing is allowing you to do what I think drama does best, is to listen. The amount of times that I have been in my car listening to a play and have reached my destination and stayed there because I was so involved in the action. It's limited only by the imagination of the audience, because we will give them, and I know we will, everything they need to create that for themselves. And it's a very exciting project. I'm looking forward to it.